Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah, and I am super excited to have you here with us because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join us today. Tonya and I. Hello, Tonya. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining me. We thank you. Say hi, Dan. Thanks for getting on. Well, we have another topic for you today. Hi, Mother Peacock. How's it going? We have an exciting topic for you today. And I know it's going to seem like, okay, where they come up with this one from. But just to let you know, today is actually National Young Men Cooking Day. National Men Cooking Day. Who would have thought we had such a thing? So since we work with young men, what better topic than the one we have going with for us today? And it's all about young men and them cooking. So it is more than a meal. Why young men, I sound like I'm echoing, why young men need to learn to cook. Why young men need to learn to cook more than a meal. Why they need to learn how to cook. And I don't know if you ever thought about that. I know some young men were actually raised to not have to cook. Their moms maybe thought that that was like something that they didn't have to do, but I always thought that it was something that really everybody needs to learn how to cook, as far as I'm concerned, because you should never have to depend on anyone else to take care of you. You should know how to do. Yeah, I think whether you male or female, you should do everything for yourself, so you can be independent. You can build confidence. You can be that bonus, have a little bonus thing going for you in a relationship. I think it's awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Tanya, what do you think?
No, I absolutely agree with everything that you said. Definitely a life skill that should be taught to everyone, so you can be self-sufficient. Because at the end of the day, even if you're in a relationship with someone, before you get to that point, you had to be by yourself, right? When you've moved out of your parents' home and then you're on your own, it's an essential like life skill that's so important for everyone to learn. And like you said, in the learning process, it's a great opportunity to build relationships with the kids and the family members. So, completely agree with everything you said in terms of it being essential for everyone, especially young men, because of sometimes those gender roles to learn.
Yeah. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. And that's breaking those stereotypes. Because as I stated, some young men, they think, I should have to cook, that's why I got married. Well, that's a poor reason to get married. But, years and years and years and years ago, possibly, maybe the husband was just the one that works outside of the home and the wife was at home. So, of course, she was there. She could do a little cooking and cleaning or whatever. But, in today's society, what happens? Mostly moms and dads, if they're married or singles, work. So you have to pitch in and do that housework, is what I think about it. But I was one make sure that my sons, before they left, they know how to cook, they know how to wash, they know how to press their clothes, they know how to do all that thing. Of course, clean the room, but they ain't want to clean the room, but they knew how.
Yes. I'm at the beginning stages of that. My kids are 8 and 10, so I'm testing things out with like having them use the microwave and things like that. Like my one son can cook some mean spaghettios. I'll tell you that much. Just open up that can and pop it in the bowl. But absolutely, I agree with that. And I know when we're talking about relationships and partnerships, my ex-husband actually was a phenomenal cook, and even now when my boys go over his house, guarantee it's always going to be a home cooked meal. So I'm grateful for the example, first of all, that he's setting in terms of breaking out of those gender roles, that it's not always like the woman having to do things. He's showing my boys at a young age and being a great example for that. But also, if we separate that part and we're just talking about partnership, as a woman, it was great to have met someone that he's from the South, so he loved to cook. That's not a prerequisite, but most Southerners kind of like to cook. but it was just really great to be in a partnership, knowing that I, for one, I don't like to cook per se, but that he was able to take up that reign of it and make sure that there was always something to eat. So it's good as to teach someone to learn how to be independent on their own, so that way when you guys do come together in terms of cooking, that can already be established. It doesn't have to be necessarily the woman having to do it, because like I said, in my particular situation, that's not how it worked out with my ex-husband. So yeah, great cook though.
That's good. Yeah, Yes. Hello, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Curly, thank you for tuning in. Because my husband loves to cook too, so I was blessed in that capacity. And we got Mother Peacock on here, and her son. I don't know if he loves to do it, but he can throw down. He was a chef and a caterer, and when I tell you, he can cook.
Okay.
And then my youngest grandson, he just turned 5. Oh my goodness, he loves to be in the kitchen cooking something. He see you going toward the kitchen. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. And so I buy him. You think most kids you buy them certain types of toys, but his mom like, okay, you can get him this. So we have this. I think it's called I'm Cooking or something like that. But I bought him actual kits where he can do like donuts and decorate them and cookies and different things. But he loves it, so it's a good thing.
I'll have to look into that myself. That sounds really good.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start out. Tanya's going to start us out with cooking builds confidence and independence. So cooking is good for young men. So not just that it's okay for them to do it, but it's really good. And that's what we're going to be talking about.
Exactly. And we kind of, I think, already kind of brushed up on this a little bit, or touched upon it, I should say. Because cooking, it gives them the ability, or learning how to cook gives them the ability to take care of themselves, having that independence. It's, again, we talked about being important for anyone, any human being, right? But particularly for boys, because of the stereotypes and the gender roles that typically come about for men. But it builds confidence, it builds independence. When they're going off on their own, it helps them to be self-sufficient, and knowing how to prepare not just a meal, but the healthy meals empowers them to take charge of their own well-being instead of relying on others. So it's giving them skills. As parents and mentors, that's the one thing that we want to do to every generation growing up. We want to instill skill sets to help them become functioning adults, essentially, as they get older. So it's super important to help build that confidence, knowing that they can take care of themselves, and knowing like what particular things they like. And I think it's important that as they begin to cook, that it's also kind of like a self-discovery, because you do get to learn things that you like. You get to learn more things about yourself. And when you become more independent, or when you become able to do stuff, it is just a boost of confidence. It's like another thing that proves to you that you're capable of things, capable of doing something. So I just think it's a great confidence builder and helps teach that independence.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. And make sure that you share with someone so they can take advantage of this conversation. And we would love to see your comments. I'm going to talk about nourishment is self-respect. Nourishment is self-respect. Who would have ever thought that? But cooking is a form of self-care. It's about valuing your health and taking responsibility for your well-being. It reinforces the message that caring for yourself is not selfish. So because I'm single, that doesn't mean I have to eat what is it, to go food, or take out or whatever, or something out of the can, or something I got to stick in the microwave. I can cook myself and enjoy a well-balanced meal, take care of my body. So that's something that you can do, you can take care of. Um, Preparing your food allows you to make healthier choices, because when you go out, you're getting this certain meal, but you exactly know what all they put in it. A lot of foods have preservatives in it or whatever. But if you cook it at home, your ingredients are fresh, or if you decide to use something canned, that, but you know exactly what it is that you're getting. So that makes you be more self-aware. And think about this. When you're cooking, you have to concentrate. So you got to slow down for one. So that might be something that will help you. You got a young person and he's just full of energy. What's something that can kind of slow them down, get them more focused on something? Because that's what it is. It's like a lot of them they're so smart until things bore them, so they just what we call wild out. But when you're cooking, you have to slow down because you want to make sure you get it right. You focus. You're interested in what you're doing, especially if you're baking. You want to get your decorations or your sprinkles just how you want and all that. So it's really helping you more than you think. So it's not all about, hey, you can help out, you should be cooking, you should be learning, but it's also helping you with skills and attributes and things of that nature. So it requires skill, it demands attention, it offers creative satisfaction because hey, if you're cooking, now you want it to taste good, right? You don't, you go somewhere and somebody and talking about this restaurant and you go and you get something and you like, this what they've been talking about? But when you go and you're cooking, hey, you sit down at the table, if it don't taste just right, you're gonna go back and add a little, oh, I need to add a little this, a little that, but you're gonna get it done. So you are invested into that. So it's helping you in more ways than one. And I, for one, before I started researching this, had never thought about any of that stuff. But it is really, really, helping you as you go about taking care of what you're taking care of, and that's cooking. You're doing something good that's useful. You're helping yourself and you're helping others.
I think that's really good. And one of the things too that when I was going about researching, and I didn't look at it from this perspective, it's promoting creativity and problem solving. And I think about my oldest son, who he's a very creative being, creature. Like he'll make stuffed animals. He's like, Mom, can we go to Michael's so I can pick out this fabric and this and that? And of course, I pour into that because that's what really interests him.
Mm.
But we're talking about how cooking encourages creativity as well in terms of trying to figure out the right blends of spices and taste, and how like what meals to put together and what proteins and all these things, and how it creates an atmosphere of creativity. I started seeing my older son like, oh, this could be like him trying to put together like this gaming thing or this app that he's trying to do or this stuffy that he's trying to make. So it was really and me for a parent, it put it in a different perspective in terms of just trying to teach the skill sets, how this can be like really fun and creative and help foster more of that imagination and feed into it as well. So I thought that was pretty
Okay.
cool perspective of that.
Okay. So Tanya's going to talk about the kitchen as a place of connection.
Yeah. So I actually reached out to a couple people on social media and was just like, hey, what are some things that you taught or that were taught to you growing up, and why was it so important in terms of cooking? And one gentleman responded in terms of the connection that he made with his grandmother. And how it brought so many great memories with his grandmother just being in the kitchen. And I think it was something simple like bologna sandwiches or something like that, or fried bologna. But it was the time that he got to spend with her in that kitchen. And when you think about it, there's a lot of different ways that you could look at this, but when you're teaching someone any skill, but we're talking about cooking, obviously, it promotes
Mhm.
quality time and investment with another person. And so, especially if you're a child, that's what you crave the most is just that quality time and attention. So it allows you to foster memories with your child or the young person, and it creates that same opportunity for the child to relate to the adult. So just creating special memories or just laughs. How many times have seen videos of like flour being thrown at each other while they're making cookies or bread or something like that? It gives plenty of opportunities to laugh and just create quality time and have great memories. Um, it also teaches resilience in a safe space. Like, think about when someone or the child, pours the wrong thing into something, it creates an opportunity for the adult to say, "Hey, that's okay. Let's try it
Mhm.
again." So again, it's still fostering that relationship and building that relationship. And then when you guys both successfully make something together that tastes yummy and you get to test it out, like, even better, right? So
Right.
all of those things, all of those things create opportunities to build and foster connection, relationship, development as you pour into your son, your grandchild, but also it allows the your son or grandchild to know just how much you really love them because you're just willing to spend time with them and teach them something new. And of course, they don't see it that way, but like years down the road, hopefully it comes back to them in that form that it was just a time of connection around the kitchen table or connection in the kitchen. So it creates lots of connection opportunities.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I had up there earlier, Miss Curley, she said uh, what I do with it? Both her sons cook, and she said even one of them bakes cakes. But again, our males, love to cook a lot of them. And it's just a thing. And I hadn't thought about, being creative and learning from them. But my daughter-in-law, she says for their birthday, of course, I'm always going buying birthday cakes, even though I bake cakes myself. But for somebody's birthday, I'm always buying a cake. But in her family, their tradition was they baked the cake at home. That was a fun thing to do. So when my youngest grandson was turning 5, he was like, "Nana, you got to make the cake." I said, "Okay." I just said, "Okay." I just thought I was just saying okay because I didn't think he really wanted me to make his cake. But then he kept reminding me. So I was like, "Okay, what do you want?" He had told me he wanted chocolate. I'm like, "Okay." And normally when I make a chocolate cake, it's yellow cake and chocolate icing. Then he said he wanted Oreos on it. So I'm like, "Okay." And so then he told me, "Nana, I want donuts on my cake." And I was like, "Donuts? Oh, okay." So then I asked him again. I said, "Now, Grayson, what kind of cake do you want?" He said, "Nana, I told you I want chocolate." I said, "Yeah, but do you want chocolate on the inside and the outside or just chocolate on the outside?" He said, "I want all chocolate with donuts, Nana." It's like, okay. But I made him this cake. And so I was like, donuts, donuts. So how I'm gonna do donuts? And so I went to Publix and I bought 6 donuts, different kinds with sprinkles and chocolate sprinkles, white sprinkles, icing and sprinkles. And so yellow cake, yellow frosting. And I put the Oreos on there, and I was like, "How can these donuts on this cake?" So I was like, "Oh, some straws." So I got straws, and I put the donuts on top. And he was 5, so I put 5 donuts on top. He loved it. Believe it or not, it was delicious. I was like, that cake was pretty good. But I would have never thought about decorating a cake with donuts and Oreos.
See, he fostered creativity within you too. Got you out the box.
Yep, he got me. Yes. If you just joined us, we are talking about, how in the past it was like a stereotype thing where just ladies were supposed to be cooking, but today, 21st century, we think differently, people do differently, and men love to cook, a lot of them. And so we also found in our research that cooking provides more than just something to do, but it also helps you with different characteristics, what have you. So the last one we're going to be talking about is from cooking to character. So who would think cooking is attached to people and their character? But it says cooking requires planning, discipline, and adaptability, traits of strong character. Mistakes in the kitchen can also cause humility. So, you fix something and it's not quite right. What are you going to do? You're going to keep working at it till you get it like you want it. And hey, sometimes you get perfection. but you got to keep going at it. So it really helps you. There's something you like to do, you're working with it. And then, so I kept digging. I was like, this is really interesting. So then I found something that says that cooking helps your character, but it helps with, it says 5 areas of character. The first one is prudence. It says this cooking teaches you to be smart. Because think about it, you go to school and they start trying to teach you about measurements and how many pints in a quart and this and that. And you're like, why I gotta learn that? Well, start cooking. Because sometimes they may not tell you in what you're used to, they may tell you in something else. Like, so they may not say in teaspoons, they may say in cups. So you gotta know. So you gotta do some stuff. You might have to do some research or whatever. So it's gonna help you with that. It helps you with proficiency, as I stated before. You want to get it right. Hey, think about it. Young man, he trying to impress a young lady. He's told her, "Yeah, I do a little bit. I do a little bit of cooking." And then she called his bluff. He's like, "Hey, well, when you gonna invite me over?" So he's got to do some cooking. So he's not going to experiment with his date, right? So he got to try to do some things ahead of time, make sure he got it down and he knows what he's doing. So that's going to help you to practice, become proficient in what you're doing. Just think about it. Um, and then it also says it again, it talked about humility again. It says that cooking makes you want to feel like when you serve a meal, you're sitting there and you're not even taking a bite of it because you're looking at everybody and you like, oh, you're waiting for them to say something. Because it's like me, I've been cooking for years and years and years, but certain times I'll cook and I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm not saying anything. He said, no. And then I see Jennifer go get some more. I said, okay, you be good. And he's like, yeah, that was good, babe. I said, oh, okay, all right, thank you. But you want to feel good about what you cook. You don't want to feel like you're just cooking and it's like, oh man, we could have got some takeout. I had a sandwich or something that was just awful. So it helps with that as well. Again, and I don't know what's the difference in the mastery and the proficiency, but it says it helps you with your mastery as well because it said, like sometimes you'll say, well, I couldn't get my noodles just right. My noodles were wrong. I don't know what it was, but you're going to keep working with it. You get your noodles just right. Uh, you're making a soup or a gravy or something. Is it the right texture? Is it too thick? Is it too thin? What did I do before? What do I need to do differently? So it's going to help you keep working and doing some things until you get it like you want to get it. I thought about that because now I make macaroni and cheese. They say it tastes pretty good, but I know I don't make the best macaroni and cheese. But I know I made one day, and I had some company. Oh, Miss Smith, you made this. This is good. This is really good. And I'm trying to think, like, what did I do differently? Then I remember that day I actually put some salt in the water. I seasoned the noodles as well before I put them in with everything else. So it's just one of those things, but you want to try that. That's going to help you with your mastery. You want to make sure that meal is something that you enjoy. Hello, we have someone new watching, Valerie. Is it Champion Simmons? Is that a friend of yours, Tonya?
It is not, no, but good to see she's watching.
Yeah, well, hi, Valerie. Thank you for tuning in here. And then the last one is serenity. It says there in this particular thing in cooking, it makes you feel like you're consumed. Sometimes people do that to relax. I know my mom, now I learned how to cook, but she would tell me things, but she never wanted me in the kitchen with her. And now that I'm older, I think that she spent that time. There was a time where she went in there and she was cooking and she was praying and doing stuff like that while she was cooking. But she always wanted to be in the kitchen by herself. But they are saying that that's a time where you can do meditation, do some deep thinking and stuff like that. So cooking is more than cooking. I mean, you're making sure that your body is getting food or providing food for someone else. But now we see all these other attributes that being able to cook or learning how to cook helps you with as well. So I don't know about you, but I know I learned a lot researching this topic, all because it was a national day. But I think I said it wrong earlier. I think it was National uh, Men Cook a Dinner Day. So my husband's not cooking dinner today, but it's all good. He likes to cook. He loves to cook seafood, but he can cook well, a lot of different things. But he likes to cook.
Yeah, yeah, delicious. That sounds good.
Yes. So we appreciate you all tuning in, and if it's something that you really, really like to cook, or you like someone cooking for you, make sure you put it in the chat, and then we'll talk about it. I'm gonna kind of switch gears and talk about some events we have coming up. Of course, this is second Saturday coming. Conversation with the guys, and the topic is Young Black Kings Thriving Despite the Statistics. And I did some research on that. So the statistics were interesting, but I know it's going to be a great conversation. We have a new guy that's going to be on with us, as well as Derek Durden, uh, Kevin Wilbon, and Sean Smith. They will be here Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8:30 Central Standard Time. So they always have a great conversation. So please, please, please join them. And I can't wait. I think I've been waiting for this one all year, but here on Build Your Best Life, we have 4 major events. The last one of the year is next week. It is a grateful conference, and it is always amazing. So we have some new individuals for next week, and that's going to run from Monday through Thursday, the 10th through the 13th. On Monday, we have Joyce Mirandes. She's from Houston, Texas. Her topic is From Survival to Thriving, Living Beyond Struggles with a Grateful Heart. On Tuesday, we have Jocelyn Charles from Dallas, Texas. Gratitude for the journey, not just the destination. On Wednesday, we have Catherine Trotter from Jacksonville, Florida. And that's Mother Peacock's daughter. And her topic is Paying It Forward, the Ripple Effect. And then closing us out on Thursday, November 13th, is Nicole Cole from Texas as well. And her topic is Standing in the Fire with God. So I know it's going to be amazing. Please, please put it on your calendar and make sure that you tune in. If you're not available to tune in on any one of those nights, you can always catch it on the rewind on Facebook or YouTube. Those videos never go away, so you can go out there and view them. So please, please, please make sure you check us out. So Tonya, I've done enough talking. Do you have any thoughts about our topic tonight, or anything else you want to share with us?
No, I think just in a nutshell, just teaching our young men, our young boys, the life skill of cooking and all the different things that it could be fulfilling in their lives, and those that they're sharing it with. I think it was just pretty straightforward and really good information. Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you all for tuning in. You can always catch Tonya on first Thursdays now. We made a shift. She's always first Thursdays here with me on Let's Talk About It. So we look forward to seeing you Saturday and next week for our grateful conference. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Be blessed. Remember that building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Be safe. And we'll check you next week. Bye-bye.